Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We got a new review of a recent release from Marvel Comics. This is Iron Man 2020, a trade paperback collecting a lot of different issues from throughout the years. Now, for those who don't know, Iron Man 2020, or Iron Man, kind of wasn't always dubbed Iron Man 2020, but this version of Iron Man is Arno Stark, who's the son of Tony Stark. And he came from the faraway year of 2015 to start. Yes, 2015 when it was like such a long way to go. Later dubbed Iron Man 2020 has been an interesting character. One that there's been some good stuff, there's been some bad stuff, and always an intriguing thing just because it's always in the future. And it's fun to see kind of that like what creators think the future is going to be like sort of way. And how does the character differ from Tony Stark? Now, he starts off, the first issue is Amazing Spider-Man Annual, number 20 from 1964, and that has to deal with him kind of in the future having to travel back in time for something to prevent a calamity. He fights with Spider-Man. Don't really want to spoil it, but it's actually a really fantastic read in that it's got this nice, like, Twilight Zone aspect to it. It's actually a great comic. There's also Machine Man miniseries that was in 1984 from 1 through 4, 20 years later. We got Death's Head number 10, Iron Man 2020 number 1, Astonishing Tales Iron Man 2020 1 through 6, and material from What If number 53. This is from creators Ken McDonald, Fred Schiller, Tom DeFalco, Simon Furman, Walter Simonson, Daniel Merlin, Goodbrey, and illustrated by Mark Beachum, Trimpe, Barry Windsor-Smith, Bryan Hitch, William Rosado, Bob Wiacek, Lou Kang, and Manny Galan. Covers a lot of eras, a lot of different comic styles, stories. Some are full stories, some are just kind of one issues. And generally, this is kind of like a really interesting introduction to the character for those who don't know. Now, the big question was like, why did they put this trade out recently? This was one that definitely thought something was up, and we now know that Arno Stark's going to be in Tony Stark Iron Man number 5, which is out this week from Marvel, October 31st. So if you want to read and find out about that character, this is a great way of doing it. The material within varies. I mean, it's all over the place as far as quality. It's all pretty entertaining. Some of it feels very dated, some not so much. And overall, it's a good read and a great primer for the character to learn more about him. Definitely check it out. It's well worth it. As I said, quality is all over the place. There's some that the art is, I think, fantastic. Some of it is not as good. Most of it holds up. There's very little that I'm going to nitpick. It's some interesting stuff. Like, I love going back and reading these trades, especially from stuff from so long ago. You get this Machine Man that has this very British comic vibe to it. A lot of it kind of really reminds me of some heavy metal, at least, or that 1980s British, and this was 1984, so it's not too shocking on that one that came out. There's some more recent stuff. I mean, I remember reading. Let me find it, and yeah. This is Recent Tales to Astonish. Astonishing Tales with some pretty awesome artwork. That was an awesome cover. I remember that cover very, very well. And they had some really good artists to it. Overall, this is basically, if you want to learn about Arno Stark, this is a great trade to get. It retails for $34.99. It's just, it's the best thing about it. Like, if you care about the character, you want things in, one handy trade, this is the way to go. As I said, he's going to play some role in the recent Tony Stark series, so you might want to pick this up if you really care. So we got some extras, covers, a bunch of covers, actually. Whole bunch of pages of covers. It's actually a really cool cover. And then there's also a little bit of sketches in the back. So, to me, this is a good read. If you want to learn about the character, I really don't see a better way of doing that lots of different stories, various stages. I mean, for me alone, if you've never read that Amazing Spider-Man annual comic, it's totally worth it. It's actually it's a solid comic read, one and done. Just pick it up, enjoy it. So I'm excited to like go through this, relearn the character, and now be able to go and read what is coming up for them, because Marvel doesn't release these sort of things in a vacuum. They tend to have some bigger picture plan on that. So already out in comic shops, already out in bookstores. You should go check it out. Go learn about Tony Stark's son, who's somehow douchier than Tony Stark. Obviously, go support your comic shop first and foremost. They're the backbone of the industry. Without them, things just would not function the way they are. If you don't know if you have a shop near you, got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. It'll tell you if your shop's near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links, so we get a small percentage of that. By doing that, you help support our site. Want to thank Marvel for hooking us up with the review copy. We always appreciate that support, and thank you for watching. Now, if you're into Marvel, if you're into comics, if you're into trade paperbacks, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.